Hello there, and welcome back to another video. Today, we are going to be doing a breakdown for the Mandalorian Season 2 trailer, because I just realised I never actually made one, so that's how it's going to work. I know some people may have not quite remembered what was in the trailer, so I'm going to play the trailer, and then I'll break it down. Right, let's crack on. I will play the trailer now.
Show me the one whose safety deemed such destruction. You must reunite it with its own kind.
Where?
This you must determine. The songs of eons past tell of battles between Mandalore the Great and an order of sorcerers called Jedi.
You expect me to search the galaxy and deliver this creature to a race of enemy sorcerers?
This is the way.
You know this is no place for a child.
Wherever I go, he goes.
So I've heard.
This is the way.
That was the trailer. I hope you enjoyed. Let's get crack on with breaking it down. Right, so, first scene, we see this planet which looks a little bit like Jupiter and Earth in real life, not gonna lie. I suspect that the planet that's behind the big one could be Yavin 4, it could be Octu, it could be Dagobah, it could be Endor and the forest moon of Endor, but the only problem with the Yavin, well, the problem with Octu, why would they go there? Luke's not gone there yet. Endor, why would they go there? Because apart from Vader and the Emperor being beaten there, nothing really actually happens there. Yavin 4, I think, is the most likely, but Yavin 4, as you can see here, is much more of like a yellowy red colour. Yavin 4 is the correct colour, but Yavin itself is not quite the right colour, so unless they've changed it, then who knows. I think this is most likely planet that we haven't heard of, and it's going to be a new one because it doesn't look like any other planet that I recognise personally, but it does look a lot like Jupiter and Earth in real life. So then we see the Razor Crest being really badly beaten up, like there's sparks flying out of the engine, the hangar bay doors open, and it looks like they're going to crash land on whatever planet that is that we were just speaking about. Then we get obviously the famous Lucasfilm thing, which is obviously very cool, and the music's very cool they play. Right, so this planet could be a lot of places, right? It could be Corellia, or it could be like Castle maybe. I don't know, but then I personally suspect that it might be Lothal, because you see the spikes in the top left, and I think, and there's one in the middle right. They're seen a lot in Rebels, so when they're just casually walking around Lothal. And which famous Jedi came from Lothal? Ezra Bridger. And I mean, you could argue and say that Kanan came from there as well, because he spent so much time there. So now you can see the Jawa eyes in the lower left side. And then there's obviously, and why I also think it might be Lothal is the fact that there's a load of anti-imperial graffiti on the walls, which, I mean, if you watch some other people's breakdowns, you can tell that it's there. And then we have the Bantha and the Tusken Raider and the Razor Crest in the background. Now this is definitely Tatooine. Now what are they doing? Now at this point they must have either met up with Ahsoka or Luke, or somebody that knows the Jedi, because why else would they be going back to Tatooine? The only reason why they can go back to Tatooine, in my opinion, is because Obi-Wan. You know, they want to go and search his hut for some, like, potentially some relics or something. I don't know. Obviously, the whole Boba Fett thing, well, we'll talk about that later. But yeah, definitely, because that looks a little bit like the Dune Sea and stuff, so I don't know. Right, now here we have Ilum, or at least the two options, in my opinion, are Ilum or Hoth. And I don't see why it would be Hoth, because apart from there was a rebel base there, they wouldn't have any point in going there. Why would you want to go to Ilum? No, sorry, why would you want to go to Hoth? There's nothing there. And the only other snow planet that I can think of, I mean, unless it's the place where Ahsoka crashed the Vindicator's class destroyer at the end of Clone Wars Season 7, then I think it must be Ilum. And also, this band bit that you can see looks a lot like the band on Starkiller Base, or at least the beginnings of it. And if you don't know, Starkiller Base is actually Ilum. So they harness like the power of all the kyber crystals that are in there to like make the giant laser thing. Fun fact. So yeah, I suspect that planet's Ilum. Then yeah, and then we get Baby Yoda on the floor, and I personally think that Baby Yoda's grown a lot, because before he was only going to about halfway up his shin, but now he's going to like the up to his knee almost. So I think he's grown quite a bit, maybe doubled in size. I don't know. Now, this is the only reason why I think that this could be the planet where Ahsoka crashed her thingy on. It's the fact that that looks a bit like a gunship, if you ask me. Just the way that's like, you know, I don't think it looks much like the Razor Quest. I think it looks a lot like a gunship. Like the cockpit would be up there, and it looks a little bit like in the background that might be like more metal-y stuff. So I don't know. That's just my opinion. It could be. It could be. It might be. It might not be. I don't know. Or that could just be the Razor Crest, and if it is the Razor Crest, then it's really, really badly beaten up. Now we go on to the world that I suspect to be Mon Cala, because of the Mon Calamari natives and the Quarren people. And there's also a very, very consistent theme in this trailer, I think, of like Baby Yoda looking up at Mando and asking him if everything's going to be okay. Because he does it here, and then I'll point it out later on, but he does do it a couple of other times in the trailer. So yeah, that's just an interesting note. So now we see this character, and at this point... Hello, this is me from the future, editing this video. I just wanted to point out that this character... It was confirmed yesterday by Disney Plus Germany that it is Sasha Banks. So what I'm about to say is actually, at the time of recording it was correct, at the time of editing it's actually wrong. Just thought I'd point that out there. This is definitely played by Sasha Banks. Feel free to fast forward a little bit further in the video if you want to, because what I'm about to say is actually wrong. Well, it was right, but now it's wrong. So, just thought I'd let you know that. Enjoy the rest of the video. This could be anybody at this point. I think it could be... I'm like 90% sure at this point that it is Sasha Banks. I'm still like 10% of me wants it to be Rosario Dawson, just not in makeup. Ahsoka, because it has been rumoured that when Ahsoka appears, she'll appear like in more grey, dark clothes, more like what she was in at the end of Clone Wars Season 7, not like what she was in at the end of Rebels Season 7. No, Rebels Season 4, sorry. But at this point, it could be anybody. I've got to be honest. I'm just going to say, here's the character, then there's Sasha Banks, then there's the character, and there's Rosario Dawson. So tell me what you think. Honestly, I mean, if you look at the nose, because Rosario Dawson's got quite a distinctive nose, and then if you look at the character, she hasn't really got that distinctive nose that Rosario Dawson's got, but she has got quite a similar nose to Sasha Banks, so I think it must be Sasha Banks. But still, there's still that 10% of me that hopes that it is Rosario Dawson and Ahsoka in disguise. So then here in this shot, I think that she looks a bit more like Barriss Offee. Right, like, you see the robes, how, like, they're lighter around her head and then darker around the rest of her body. You know, I kind of see that on there, and that it could just be her, like, without makeup on. Because I think Barriss Offee, after Order 66, became an Inquisitor. Although I don't think it was ever confirmed whether she did what actually happened to her, but I think she just became an Inquisitor. Which, that would make the most logical sense to me. Right, so again, here, right, it looks like Baby Yoda's looking up at Mando for, like, reassurance that like everything's going to be okay and stuff, which I think is quite interesting. Then we have him on a boat. Now I'm pretty sure that this is like literally the first time that we've seen a boat in Star Wars. Quite interesting. Then again here, I mean, this could be him just looking off at something in the distance, but again it kind of looks like he's looking up at him for reassurance, if you ask me. I don't know, just my personal opinion. So here now, this one I want to talk about a little bit because like that could be the Razor Crest. That's obviously the Razor Crest in the middle. But then that's the other reason why I think that that other one could be a crashed gunship, because here the markings on it, they look similar, but they're yellow, whereas on the other one they were orange. Now you see these two gunships. Now they could be the ones that escorted Ahsoka's ship at the end of Rebels Season 4, or they could be, or like Luke could be one and Ahsoka could be in one, or Ahsoka could be one and Sabine could be in one, you know. Who really knows at this point? Now this one is quite interesting. Now this is definitely, I'm sorry for the poor quality photo, but this one's definitely at Cloud City. They've got their S4s in attack position, which would suggest to me that, but in the trailers they don't, in the trailer at least, they don't fire any lasers, so that would suggest to me that she's not actually, that they're with him and they're going to go and attack some TIE fighters or something, maybe. I don't know. Now this I admit is, the jetpack is not quite so far-fetched, but this is the whole Boba Fett thing. Now credit to Star Wars Theory, because I saw this in his video first and foremost, and I thought it was quite interesting. I've put it in mine. I think he saw on Reddit that a Reddit user had said that looks a lot like Boba Fett's jetpack. Come on, that's just so far-fetched. I mean, I see Boba's jetpack, definitely do see Boba's jetpack. But then the next thing is the helmet. Now, even with that being drawn on, the green outline being drawn on, I still don't see it. I'm sorry, I see the jetpack, I just do not see the helmet. Even with that being drawn on, I don't see the helmet. I'm sorry. I do definitely see the jetpack though. Definitely see the jetpack. I don't really see like the missile bit of the jetpack, but I do definitely see the main bit of it. I just do not see the helmet. I'm sorry to any Boba Fett fans out there. I do not see the helmet. Maybe some of you do, maybe I just got poor eyesight, who knows. I personally don't see it. So then here we have Cara Dune and Grief Karga looking very posh. It looks like their outfits have been definitely got an upgrade. Looks like Grief Karga looks a little bit like a almost like he's gone into, yes, he's probably been spending those bits of Beskar that he got from the other person, the ex-Imperial person, which I think that's kind of cool. Cara Dune, I'm pretty sure she looks different, not quite sure though. Then we see some TIE fighters, obviously getting their wings into the correct position, and looking like they're going to go and take off and maybe attack something, I don't know. And then now we see some stormtroopers, which look to be in an Imperial class Star Destroyer, which I think is quite interesting because Giancarlo Esposito, the person who plays Moff Gideon, has said that he'll be commanding a large vessel or like a large vehicle or something in this season. That basically meaning that this is going to be Moff Gideon's Star Destroyer. And then here, sorry for the blurry shot again, but you can tell there's some dead stormtroopers there, suggesting there was a fight. And then obviously the scout troopers are going off to chase him. Now, just a quick little interesting fact here. I never knew that you could drop down from such a height on the speeder bikes. I knew you could drop down like a little bit, but that looks like they're going there a good 100 meters or so, and I didn't know you could do that. So just a little interesting bit there. Now this scene looks a lot like in the comic where Luke's stuck underwater and drowns and then's revived by R2-D2. If some of you might remember that comic, some of you might not, I don't know. Which is just an interesting little fact. Yeah, sorry for the poor quality photo again, but here we have Mando on his jetpack, and presumably to go and chase after some Imperial TIE fighters or something, I don't know. Maybe they've captured Baby Yoda and he's going after them, I don't know. Now here, if you listen closely on the trailer, you can actually hear a Tusken Raider sound. But that's definitely not a Tusken Raider, that's definitely a person. And you can see some of the anti-Imperial graffiti down in the bottom left that I was talking about, bottom right, sorry, that I was talking about, which could potentially suggest that this is the same planet, either Corellia or Lothal or something like that. So, yeah, quite interesting fact there. Now here, this appears to be on Ilum, if you ask me. Yeah, I don't really know what else to say about that. Yeah, it looks like it's on Ilum, probably is on Ilum. Looks like they're probably going to the Kyber Caves of Ilum to get Baby Yoda a Kyber Crystal. Because even though his hands probably aren't big enough to wield a lightsaber, or maybe they are, I don't know, it could just be interesting to see him get his Kyber Crystal and then maybe Season 3 build his lightsaber. I did speculate that in another video, that could be quite interesting. Yeah, now again here, like, I think it's just after this, but they sort of look at each other with that theme of, like, Baby Yoda wants reassurance that everything's going to be okay, which is quite interesting. Now here we have the Razor Crest crashing. Now, it looks like it's really on fire. Now, some people I've heard say that could be Slave 1, but I don't think it is. I think it's the Razor Crest. Again, then we get the two Gamorreans fighting, which doesn't really mean very much. Just a couple Gamorreans fighting to assert like dominance over each other after Jabba the Hutt's death, probably. Now this guy, who we don't know the name of, but's voiced by Jon Favreau, seems like he could be like maybe the person who Mando's trying to capture. I don't know. And then obviously like Baby Yoda, he sees the whistling birds and he's like, nope, I'm out. I don't want any part of this. And then we see Mando throw the thing into the chest of the Zabrak and kill him. And then Mando says, this is the way, which to all you kids out there, no, that is not the way. You should not kill people. That should be obvious, but I should probably just say that just to clarify, just in case there are anybody out there that thinks that it's okay to go around killing people, which obviously isn't. But you know, yep, just to clarify. So that was it for the trailer. There's a couple of characters who there's a distinct lack of. Moff Gideon and the Darksaber. That's the only thing that I would say, right, is that there is a lack of Moff Gideon and the Darksaber. There's also a lack of Ahsoka, Sabine, Bo-Katan, Boba Fett. All the other characters have been rumoured, but that's understandable. They wouldn't, if they truly are in it, they don't want to like reveal everything immediately. And like, you know, I personally believe that we'll get another trailer, and we'll get it like somewhere between like the 25th and the 28th of October, and it'll just be like, and it'll reveal like, it won't reveal everything, but it might maybe reveal like, if Bo-Katan's gonna be in it, reveal Bo-Katan. If Rex is gonna be in it, it'll reveal Rex. If like, just so, or if Boba Fett's gonna be in it, it'll reveal him. I don't think it would reveal Ahsoka. I think they would leave that to the actual show, because that would also slightly concern fans and stuff. But I don't know. I think that could be quite an interesting concept for them to play with. But I'd like to thank you all for watching this video, and I'll see you in a brand new video tomorrow. Bye.